Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Kanaris. I'm a social scientist, coach and director of all things social impact. For more than 20 years across Australia, Indonesia and the United Kingdom, I've helped organisations understand how their decisions and projects affect people and communities. And today I'm taking you through one of the most important yet often rushed stages of social impact assessment, or SIA, scoping. Scoping sets the foundation for everything that follows. If you get scoping right, the rest of your assessment becomes clearer, easier, more defensible, and far more meaningful. This is a step-by-step approach grounded in a practical guide to social impact assessment for the real world. Why does scoping matter? Scoping is where you answer three essential questions. What is the project actually doing? What are the likely social impacts, and who is affected and how? It sounds simple, but in real practice, this is where the biggest mistakes happen. The scope is too broad, you waste time and resources. The scope is too narrow, you miss key impacts. Well, scope is vague. The whole assessment feels uncertain and weak. Scope is where you move from what you think the project might do to what we know needs to be assessed. Well, let's break it down in 7 easy steps. In step 1, we understand the project clearly. In my book, I emphasize that scoping must start with a deep understanding of the project. You need to ask yourself, what activities are planned? Where will they occur? And how long will they last? What will change socially, economically, and culturally? You cannot scope impacts without understanding the actual activities. This is where many SIAs go wrong. They scope based on assumptions instead of evidence. And step 2, identify your affected communities. Scoping is where you first map out who the project touches. Affected communities can include residents, local workers, First Nations communities, schools, childcare centres, businesses, vulnerable groups, service providers, commuters, and cultural users of the landscape. This grows and refines as engagement progresses. Scoping is your first moment of clarity. And step 3, map the impact pathways. This is a step most practitioners skip, but it changes everything. Impact pathways help you understand how the project affects people. For example, a project workforce may lead to demand for housing, which may cause rental increases, which then creates stress on low-income households. Or a haul route creates traffic, reduces access, which then leads to impact on vulnerable road users, and which then creates a risk to community safety. And when you understand the chain of change, identifying impacts becomes much easier. And step 4, identify key social impact categories. Now, using the categories from the book ensures you don't miss anything. People and communities, housing and accommodation, access to services and infrastructure, employment and economic participation, health and well-being, cultural heritage and connection to place, community safety and lifestyle, social equality and inclusion. Now, these categories guide your early thinking and help you shape the rest of the assessment. And step 5, consider vulnerability early. Not all groups are affected equally. In scoping, ask who is most exposed, who is most sensitive to change, and who has the least ability to adapt. This shapes your priority for engagement, baseline building and impact analysis. And step 6, design engagement that fits the context. Scoping includes planning how you will speak with communities. And this means deciding who to engage, how to engage, what information you need, and when engagement should occur. Scoping is not only about the what, it's also about the how. And step 7, document the scope clearly. The project description, the affected communities, key impact pathways, potential impacts grouped by category, baseline data requirements, your vulnerabilities, assumptions and limitations, and the plan for the rest of the SIA. This makes your assessment transparent and defensible from day one. And scoping is not a formality. It's the stage where you set the direction, the focus, quality of your entire SIA. And if you want your assessment to be credible, useful, grounded in real community experience, then scoping must be thoughtful, structured, and done properly. When you scope well, you give yourself and your client a clear roadmap. When you skip scoping, the whole assessment becomes guesswork. Now, if you want templates, step-by-step videos, real project examples, and practical tools to help you master social impact assessment scoping in your work, you'll find all of this inside the All Things Social Impact subscription platform, your home for practical real-world social impact assessment learning. Join today at allthingssocialimpact.com. I hope this helps you on your journey in social impact. If you found this useful, like, share, subscribe, and join me as we keep breaking down real-world practice, one video at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.